Well, that happened sooner than I was thinking. Good morning. What time is it? I can't see the time. Oh, I was trying to clean the screen and I evidently hit the go live button. So here we are, and y'all seeing me clean the screen. So good morning, early. Yes, I have these on so I can try to read a little better the chats when they come up. Good morning, Beth. How are you today? Yeah, my screen is greasy, but I had a bunch of screen wipes with me and I can't find them all. I found some of them. I didn't find them all, and I've used the ones I could find. And not being able to get to normal kind of stores. So good morning. Hi, Kenneth Bailey. Who else is there? Is Iris there? Good morning, Iris. Oh, there you are. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'll take these on and off so I can read your messages. So Mike was coming out to talk with us, and we heard a vehicle come. This is the way mechanic shops are. And when they live in the same location, they hardly ever get a break. And he knew today was going to be busy because Jeremy is building a shop off to the side. And so there's a lot of activity going on with that as well. And I just went through, because some of y'all, most everybody that knows me knows that I keep a Saturday Sabbath. I keep Sabbath. And because I keep Sabbath, Friday I prepare, and then Sabbath I try not to use electricity at all. Sometimes I've been better at it some years than others. Sometimes I don't even use a screen. I won't watch a movie. I won't listen to music. My general is that I will walk and I will read. But sometimes when you're in situations, you kind of adjust things because it's what happens. And so I've been here a long time. Y'all know I've been here 2 months or something. Well, not quite 2 months, close. Anyway, so this morning, I run around and the first thing I do is wash dishes and clean the kitchen because, nobody else did that. And not judgmental, and I've been helping that way. So that the wife can take on an extra job she had an opportunity to do. And so if I will help out a little bit, it allows her to do that even more. And, there's less problems while I'm here and I'm capable. So anyway, yeah, I prepped the kitchen so that they could easily make meals over Sabbath with me not helping. I kind of stayed off to myself a little more. I took the little girl for a walk around the driveways on the property. And, but aside from that, I was kind of laying low yesterday. And then this morning, I whip through once everybody's awake enough that I could start making sounds, wash up the dishes because I can't fix breakfast. Okay, because I eat different and I'm allergic to propane. And so I have to be really clean and really neat because I eat kosher and they don't. And they use bacon grease in their fry pans. And so I need to be careful. And they let me use their stove while I'm here because I can't get my fuel and stuff. Anyway, so I whipped around and cleaned up the kitchen really good. And kind of cool news on my diet and health is I've been able to eat some fruit. And I'm not getting sick behind it. So I don't know how long I'll do that, but for right now, it's helpful. Put the glasses on and see if I can read it better. Oh, Babs. Hi, Babs. Hi, Jeremy. Thank you for coming. Hi, TJ and Mojave. Loretta, wonderful. Oh, that's right. School would have started already, wouldn't it, Loretta? And so good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Simply Live with SimplyLesa. You'll see at some point, you'll see a post I put out where if you want to join another website called liltrucks.com, that I will be also writing over on Little Trucks. They're doing, once they hit 4,000 members on their website, which has lots of forums for lots of different kinds of small vehicles and Suzuki's trackers. There's some of the, I don't know the names of them. Jeremy, you will know the names way before I'll think of them. But kind of those little tiny Chinese trucks. They have those. They have, they have all kinds of stuff. So there's different forums and stuff like that. So the guy that runs that or owns that thing, he said once it hits 4,000 members, and if I help, then I get entered into this sweepstakes win a thing. He's going to do a giveaway. And the new giveaway is his old 98 Chevy Tracker, which is in Texas. And then like second place is, I forget, a bunch of stuff to upgrade a Suzuki, a tracker. And then there's a couple other levels like recovery stuff and overland gear and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that stuff, go take a look. It's kind of cool. Like George, hi Tiny, George and Tammy. Tiny might like that one. I know he's outfitting his cowmobile is a Jeep Liberty, but it is little trucks. So I don't know if you're interested in those kind of things. Go check out that website. Let's see what developments, and then we'll walk around and see if I can find Mike and see, is he too busy to do this, or is he going to get freed up so he can come talk with us, or what? Because the plan is Mike's going to be here so we can talk to him. So let's see. I removed. Let's show you that. I think I better put my glasses this way so that I can turn the camera around. Woo! That's like obviously the front of my car. You see my solar panel, and that's my hood. And this is that truck that's parked beside where I'm at. So let's turn around over here, though. Go this way. The chickens are on the other side, and the ducks, the birds, on the other side of that big. It's not a flatbed. Is it a dump truck? I think it is a dump truck. I don't know what it is. Anyways. So let me make this a little shorter. Whoops, unscrew that way and go down. There we go. Talking y'all through this. So down here, you recognize that? That used to be my part of my platform and my kitchen table. And I put it on a post that I was going to remove that. So I did. I had some children help while everybody was busy the other day. But you see how far the water port sticks out in the back. I love the water port. Thank you so much, TJ Shack, for gifting me that. That thing is wonderful. At the property, I use it for my showers because I can pressurize it and get a good shower. It has a good spray nozzle. And out here on the road, it showers, it's drinking water. I keep it clean. But take a look at when I open my back door, you'll see the work in process. Okay, gonna set y'all down. And let's open this. It rained last night again, pretty good. And this curtain was only Velcroed, which we'll talk curtains in a minute. So that table used to live right here underneath the refrigerator. And it was too far a reach to reach here to set all my pots on top of it. It just was awkward. So the little 4-year-old girl here helped me one day when everybody was busy, and I got a screwdriver and we took it apart, and she got to count bolts and screws and nuts and, the things you do with kids. But this is the refrigerator, because somebody, might have been Iris, saw the post and thought that it was a tub. That's the refrigerator, sweetheart. And I have my washcloth is tucked here so that it won't get smelly. Because I'm not using it because my solar's not hooked up. So refrigerator, Kelly kettle is back there in that dark blue bag. Can you see? Dark blue bag. You can kind of see. Anyways, and then this is my bed. I mean, y'all know it's real kind of normal, simple. I am reworking my curtains. The Velcro's not working so good after all the heat and the leak that was creating a problem with my headliner. So as you can see, the Velcro that was sticky just came off. Not all of it. This one's still stuck on with sticky. Some of it I stitched on. Some of it was sticky back Velcro. And so that Velcro is coming off. I'll wash these good. This was one of those Ozark Trails microfiber towels. I find that this color blends well with most vehicle interiors. And when you look at it through either a tinted window or a non-tinted window, it just doesn't show up as anything. And so I tend to use that as curtain material because it also is absorbent. So any of the condensation that our bodies give off when we're sleeping, it helps to absorb that. So during that day when it's sunny, then I can put it out and dry it. This was leftover fabric from, not sure you can see that, but I had bought a set of curtains. So this was the curtain material I had bought somewhere else, and it's backed and stitched together with the microfiber towels. And then I took what was left and made an edging just to get the color on it because I like the color. So that's what that is. And I have a series of actually 2 sleeping bags and a camp blanket. And that's the curtains. That's a Walmart camp pillow. They're inexpensive. This bag down here, I only have this in here because I was taking my down jacket up to G, and I'm not going to get there, and he's going to have to get it somewhere else, or somebody else is going to get it. And this is a Thermarest pillowcase. So this pillowcase is supposed to have my towel in it, and I'm allergic to down. I really shouldn't have it in here. But anyways, so I'm just trying to do a little putsy work to this. When I was around Tiny in Flagstaff, before I left Flagstaff, I'm not sure you can see that because I can't see the back of the phone very good. Hold on one second. Let me make you dizzy for a second. And put this down some. Okay. I do things kind of real, don't I? Okay, up here. This connector thing, we screwed it to one of the window screws. I'm not sure you can actually see that. It's kind of dark. Well, maybe you can see it. So anyways, it's a corner bracket. So it's working because I put the bungee on it for the paper towels. And then I stuck this on here. I'm not going to keep this on here. I don't like how messy this gets. But for the moment, it's, protecting my map books. And there's a couple of coffee mugs and some extra spare toilet paper, atlases, stuff like that. But that's going to change. So what I've done is I've ordered new corner brackets that are longer, stick out further, and then I ordered a tension rod for the back. So I ought to be able to eventually have a backdoor screen as well, because nothing really fits this. Plenty of people use accessories that are made for old Jeeps, like from the early 70s, but they don't always fit. And so I'm going to have to make my own whatever. That tent was close, but too big. And then when it rained, and the winds they have here are incredible. The winds have already destroyed, well, not destroyed, but it's already broken the wiring for the solar dragonfly lights that we put up over here. So those have already been destroyed. Not, okay, I'm saying destroyed, but that's not quite right. They just are broken. See, right here. The wind was so strong that the wires just kept, you know, until they like came unattached there and here. So that's kind of an annoyance, but you know, not the wind is strong here. So let's see. I'm walking you around a little bit. Do you guys have questions today too? Because, whoops, I got to go back to the car. Oh no, I have the glasses right on me. But, and you see how close I am to everything. But it'd be nice to have, it would be really nice to have the screen on the back of the car. I would sleep with that window open sometimes, I believe. Let me double check. Do you guys have questions today, please, too? Is the engine in sight? I see. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I lost you. Is the engine in sight? No, not in sight, but I do have an update on that. Okay, so let me get back up here where I can read it good. I'm not the only one who's curious. Of course you're not. And I'm glad you, any news of my engine? Yes, let's get to that next. And hi, everybody that I haven't said hi to. Please thumbs up, like, subscribe, share my channel with other people, share things. Help me out on the Facebook post to do some more Living Simply stuff. I'm trying to decide how to maneuver the Buy Me a Coffee site, as well as I'm really not liking Facebook right now. Really not at all. And YouTube is annoying me. Of course, I'm not a photographer. I never said I was. I say that often. But yeah, because of some of those things that are not fun for me, I'm trying to decide who I'm going to be as this whole thing is changing and working around, whatever. So out on little trucks, L-I-L trucks, or L-I''L. So I'm blogging out there as well and doing things on their forum. But because of that, I can't do that. I can't do everything. Can you imagine? So I feel like I can't do Zooks of Arizona, little trucks. So Zooks of Arizona is kind of not getting much traffic, but I've been to their events before and I love the guys. So don't get me wrong, but I'm connected with them in other ways. And so little trucks is more inclusive of lots of things, not only Suzuki's. So I feel like that's a good place to put things and to share stuff with people who, you know, even Datsun pickup truck guys and Nissans and whatever. I don't even know what there is anymore, but they're out on that site as well. So kind of trying to help drive some traffic over there. I think it's a good idea. But I have to learn that. And then you know, when I was in St. John's, one of the last times that I was at Stan's shop, I bartered my Chromebook to Stan for the shop. So as part of the payment for work he had done, I no longer have a computer. So now I'm on an Android phone and I can do this. I'm capable. So I recently got a new Bluetooth keyboard so that I can type faster. That will help me with both journaling, doing my homework for my therapy, which to me has been helpful. I've grown a lot having a little assistance thinking about things and then talking about what my conclusions with somebody. And then I've been trying to get back to writing on my blog at Blogspot again, but some stuff has changed over there, and so there's ads running on that like crazy, and I'm not getting paid for it. Somebody's getting paid, but I'm not getting paid. And YouTube, piddly money on YouTube. I mean, twice a year I got one check for $240 or something. And then usually I get two checks in a year for $100. And of course I get excited because I get something, you know. And so when I looked over buymeacoffee.com and Patreon and all these other things, and I thought, you know what? Buymeacoffee.com will allow me to do Zoom calls, and maybe I can do coaching or something and help that way. I just feel like that's a better idea. So I'm kind of concentrating on that, Lil Trucks, and I need to get back in touch with Darren, who was doing my .com, because it's just sitting and I can't decide. Maybe I'll just give up the Blogspot, just not do it anymore, because sometimes there's only so much you can do. All right, so I've ordered a couple of things, inexpensive things to keep me busy, that'll give me a project that will help me, not just this family. Well, and I don't mean that to sound, you know what I mean, I think, just to help me too. So I've ordered the new corner brackets for curtains and the bungees to kind of make to redo my curtains so they'll fit better. And I ordered the 3M seam sealer stuff for the track, the roof rails is what's leaking. It's the bolts in the roof rails, and I can't get them any tighter than they are. So I will put some of that seam sealer on there. And okay, I saw that something else popped up. The glare on my phone is really hard right now. Okay, so I did not tell you about the engine. Let me tell you about the engine. So the first engine I bought was a super good price from what appeared to be a reputable place. It was called, can I remember what it was called? It was called, oh, I can't think of the name of it right now. So, okay, I can't think of the name of it. Keystone Auto. So, hunted online, found that it was a real place. I was making a good decision. And when they invoiced us, it was why I took the risk. The price was real low. So I took the risk and bought it because they invoiced us through PayPal. And the shop did the paperwork to buy it, and we used my debit card for the payment. So it was, but I know enough about PayPal that if it was invoiced with PayPal, then you're protected to a certain degree. So I said, all right, well, the risk is only so big because it's a PayPal transaction. So we went ahead and bought it. Never came. Then the phone call mess. Then, I was frustrated because I thought, somebody wasn't calling early enough in the morning, because I used to work for the government in Virginia, and many different forms. And then I worked for IBM when I was in Virginia. And so all of those things, I know that if you're professional on the East Coast and you don't call before noontime, people don't respect you. They don't even care if you're in California. They still don't respect you if you don't call before noontime. So I was sort of a little like, oh, Mike, please call before noon, please. And I wouldn't say it. I would just think it. And I'd be like, okay, it's 11:30 already. He hasn't called them. Then I'd be like, take a deep breath, Lesa. You have to let him run his business his way. So deep breath. Called, George, called Brian, called a couple of people a few times and went, oh my God, I can't stand it anymore. I want to take this over. I want to make the phone calls myself. I have to let it go. It's not my place to do that at this stage of the game. So yeah. So then anyway, so then he got a hold of the guy a couple more times, and the guy said, oh yeah, we lost it then, but we found it. You should have it by Thursday. Yeah, okay, 2 weeks in a row of you should have it by Thursday. Nothing, no tracking numbers, no ship bill of lading, no shipping anything. And so um finally we all wondered if I was getting scammed, but I was like, we got to try. It's a price I can afford. We got to try. And I can afford it without, yes, with help from you guys, but without like applying to Howa for help and whatever else, right? And so it didn't come and it didn't come. And finally, one morning, we came to a decision that the next morning it was my turn. I was making the phone calls. And I was like, can I please have whatever information you have? Because today's my day. Well, you have everything. No, I need what you have. And so then I made the phone calls. And within an hour, I was talking to PayPal and I was being told that they were going to expedite a full refund because the name of the company wasn't even the same name of the company. The name of the company who invoiced me through PayPal was a different name than the name of the company I bought the engine from. And they were like, well, that's suspect. And so I was sitting out here by the car making phone calls by the tracker. And then by the time I walked inside to Mike to say, well, PayPal's working on it, it'll be about 11 days. Mike got an email because it was done under his business name. And and they said that they had already done the research and closed the case. And I was like, what does that mean? And he says, it says you're getting your money back in 5 days. Do you know I had the money back in my account the next morning? Whew, thank you, God. So then the hunt was on. And in the meantime, I did put in an application with Howa. So Howa has agreed to do I forgot their term. It's a grant, but it's a partial payment of what is estimated to be paid. So they have agreed to do a partial payment with me. So then the hunt was on I was like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? How do I get the tracker back to Arizona? How do I find an engine? How do I deal with this? What the crap am I supposed to do now? So for a few hours, it was kind of crazy. And it happened to have been my therapy day. So the therapist was on the line with me. And, but anyway, so then, Mike found an engine. And so it was from a 97 Geo tracker. And so he said, I think you should buy this. And so I did a little more research, asked some advice from a couple of more buddies. And then I did the math and I barely had enough to squeak through because it was more than double the expense. It was $1,900 plus dollars. And I was like, we're just going to buy it, but I can't handle it. I didn't say I can't handle it, but I was feeling, please be real. Please come, because I'm stuck. And then I talked to a couple of the top dogs with Suzukis and engines like mine. One of them said, I'm not sure I would have bought a new engine. I'm not sure I wouldn't have run it with the crack in the block. And I was like, but I saw the crack. And he said, well, I agree with your mechanic's decision, but this is challenging and anything to have gotten you home might have been helpful. But anyway, so I just see that Mike is walking around again, and let's see if we can get him. See if he'll come talk to us. So are you going to be able to come talk to us?
Yeah, just had to deal with him dropping off some tools.
Sure. Do you want to sit and take a chill pill?
Yeah, I'm sitting right here.
All right, let me fix the camera. You want to say hi to everybody? There's some
Hi.
regular folks that come on.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure how I'm interviewing you. And guys, I'm going to make you dizzy for a few minutes. Let me get the tripod unshort. Let's make it tall. Unshort. Make it tall. This is yeah. And y'all are on here, so whoops. Ooh, that was fun. Did y'all like that sliding around like you're on a roller coaster or something? All right. I never feel like I'm good at those. It it opens and then oh, I got it that time. Look, and it's tall enough for you. Okay. So, Mike,
Yes.
welcome to Simply Live with
Okay.
me and all my people who come on Sundays. And let's see what we're going to have for questions because people are going to have questions. And I'd love to have you talk about what's it like to have this problem at your shop and then what's going on around the shop too. But, you know, to have the problem of Simply Lesa and not a vintage rig, right?
That's a challenge,
Yeah, you're on.
especially when it's the worst Suzuki motor ever built.
Oh, bloop. Worst or best, right? As long as it doesn't crack.
Yeah. Yeah, that 1.6 is horrible for cracks. So, yep. But no, if it was any motor but the 1.6, we'll found it a whole lot sooner. So,
But the 1.6 has a little more power than the older ones.
yeah, but it's more prone to cracking.
Yep.
So, we found one and was in a vehicle rollover. Small town, less 1,000 people, no lift kit on it, and hopefully that one don't have cracks. It won't know until it gets here.
Right.
But it's the only one we could find. So.
Yep.
And then trying to deal with that and set my buddy up to his paint booth. Hopefully we have him going before winter hits.
Yeah, because he's actually building a shop, right?
Yeah, we ordered 3 connexes that we could weld together and make a big shop out of. It was a lot cheaper than buying one of those prefab shops.
Right.
And
I'm going to come sit with you.
As soon as we're done with that, then we got to assemble his paint booth, which will help me out because I'm going to do the mechanic portion of all the vintage restoration stuff, and he's going to do all the paint for me. So he'll be his own separate business entity. I'll be my own, but he'll handle the paint jobs.
Right.
That way we get some of our old vehicles rolling, because personally I have my own collection of 19 vehicles, 1929 through 1979. And that's my personal collection I spent 20 years collecting. But I might just roll them over into the business and sell them to the business and go from there. Got a couple custom Harleys I built. Got a couple rat rods I'm working on, things like that. But got to rotate customers in and out.
Right, because you got to keep money coming in.
Yeah, got to keep money coming in.
You got a family.
At least until the mortgage is paid off. I owe $100,000 on the mortgage. As soon as that's paid off, then don't have to worry, because the money going out towards the mortgage, I could roll into fixing my vehicles and do what I want to do. Kind of like George Barris did. He'd only build a few cars a year, and each one was a one-off rolling piece of art. That's kind of the goal for the shop. Is we're not looking to do high output stuff. We're looking to do unique, one of a kind, showroom quality. And if it's too expensive to restore it back to showroom quality, then we're going to do like a one-off rat rod, just to give it a second chance at life type thing.
And you're doing that with your personal car, which is your shop car too, right?
Yeah, my 99 Eclipse.
We can go show that.
It's Mopar Eclipse, made in USA. It's back when Mitsubishi was struggling, was going through the bankruptcy stuff. Chrysler bailed them out, and the stipulation was Chrysler could use their power plants inside the Eclipse. So I specifically searched to make sure I got the Made in USA Mopar one because I got some plans for it. A lot of the parts are discontinued, so I started hand fabricating timing covers and parts for it and decide, well, I'll make it like a Mad Max style rat rod, and that's going to be my advertising car. So
we'll walk over there before we finish up.
It's not done yet. It'll be probably another year or two before that one's done. But once it's done, it'll have my shop logo, phone number, and all that. Because I don't have social media, so this is kind of an oddball thing for me to do this with her. Because I don't do social media, don't have time for it, have no interest in it really, and
you kind of running a homestead here as well.
Yeah, I'm working on Homestead to cut down on the cost of food because everything's so expensive out here. Like gallon of milk these last couple of years, anywhere from $5 to $8 for a gallon of milk. 12-pack of eggs, anywhere from $5 to $13 for a 12-pack of eggs. You're lucky if you get an 18-pack for less than 20 most of the time. So, started chickens, ducks, turkeys, eventually maybe a pig and milking goat. You know, got to work the way up and still run the business. Even though technically on Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. As you guys noticed earlier, I still had someone coming over and it's a Sunday. So I'm still working, even on my day off today. As soon as I'm done with this, I still got backhoe I'm going to work on. Got to weld some sawhorses so I can pull a cab off a 67 C10, put the cab on there so I can start glass bead blasting all the paint off and see the extent of the rust through damage on it. And then when I'm done with that, I got to help Jeremy butt his connexes together so we can start welding that up so he can start getting his shop going. So so yeah, it's quite the ordeal, juggling. Lesa's been helpful. She's been helping keep an eye on the kids since she's here, and dishes, pulling weeds to help cut down on the fire hazard, because this year we got a lot of rain. And we had weeds taller than I am, 6 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot weeds in some spot, so that's about some of it.
Yeah. So when somebody breaks down in a small rural town, what's it like for the mechanic to have to choose? How do you choose whether you're going to help somebody or not? Because we don't,
I basically go off their attitude and personality. If I don't like your attitude, I kick you up the road.
Okay.
I'll take you to the next shop, which is 30 miles up the road. There's a hotel there, which is nice. I can call the hotel and go, hey, I found this person, they're broke down. And they'll give you 50% off on your hotel rate because you are broke down. But no, it's all a matter of attitude. I mean, if you come at me with attitude, I'm gonna go to the other shop. If you're nice like you've been, I'll let you stay here till your car's fixed. No, I'm not gonna charge you to stay here. You're broke down.
Within reason.
Within reason. You supply your own food. You help out where you can, and that's basically your charge for staying here. I'm not going to gouge you and give you you've been staying here, so here's 1 month's rent. That's not right. It's not the right thing to do. So.
And you do even on your regular work, you give senior discounts, don't you?
Yep.
That's kind of rare.
I give 55 and older senior discounts because that's how it was back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Most of your diners you can go to and you can get that discount. I think that's the way we should be. There's no reason to raise it up to 65. In my own personal family, most of the males in my family are lucky if they make it to 57. The females tend to outlive the males in my family. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is.
Tough old birds.
Well,
Yeah.
well, my grandpa used to say it's because we want to die first.
No, they want to break, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's how it was in my family. So I was like, I'll honor that 55 and older senior discount, and then I give a 10% off because we're such a long stretch of highway out here. It's about 110 miles from one highway end to the other highway end, and then there's a couple valleys in between that stretch that don't have a paved highway. So if you're kind of in this valley area, I give you a 10% local discount too, because it's hard to get any kind of work out here. Even though I'm supposed to be doing older cars and stuff, I've been getting like old 1976 International Harvester 3500A backhoes. I got a 530 case backhoe out here right now that I'm working on.
And they're neighbors. A lot of those are neighbors.
Yeah, those are like local ranchers and people that homestead. I've made some rocker arms for swathers for one of the ranches here because they were back ordered 6 months during COVID, and you can't have a hay field down for 6 months. So I told them, well, take off a good piece, bring me a piece of steel, whatever thickness you want, and I'll use the good piece as a template and make you a few spare ones. So I got him in and out, and I think it was about 12 hours it took me to do that job.
Wow.
Because it was a good, I believe it was a 1/2-inch plate he brought me because he didn't want it to break again.
Right.
So we're gonna upgrade all of his plates to thicker plates so it'll never wear out on them.
And some of your neighbors right here are like growing alfalfa or something, right? Alfalfa hay.
Yeah, alfalfa hay for feeding their livestock.
Yeah, that's kind of cool to see, for me to see. Yep. And the mountains being so close. Wow, you get rain. We got rain.
Yep, we got some surprise rain last night on us.
Yep.
It came out of nowhere.
Do you guys have some questions for Mike? Let me see what y'all talking about out here while I sat with him. Jacob wants to know, how far from your place are you? 11 hours. You might have said it before, but we've not been met on for a while. Yeah. I'm approximately 11 and a half hours from my cabin. So my general thought pattern at this time is we believe the engine's actually coming this time, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I've dealt with this company before.
Right. And it might be a couple of weeks.
It might be here this next week.
Okay.
Because it shipped out Friday.
Oh, okay.
So it might be here by the end of this next week.
Okay. So. And but then it's going to take a couple of weeks to get things together, I'm assuming. And then I could be wrong. Okay.
No, week at most. Because I got to do compression tests. I got to do cylinder leak down tests. Yeah. And if there's something off with the compression or the leak down test, then I got to pull the head and check for cracks like I did your other one.
Right, other one. Right. Okay. And then but then I'm planning, you may not even need to know this. I'm planning to not leave the general area for about 2 weeks after we get me rolling.
Which is smart idea.
That's
since it is a used engine,
right.
That is the wise thing to do.
And it may be really hard for me to do because I want to go.
Yep.
But at the same time, I already looked it up, and somewhere about 10 miles or 15 miles up the road, there's camping. I know 25 miles north-ish, there's more camping. I know the other way there's more camping. So I'm going to kind of stay close by for a couple of weeks, just in case.
There's hot springs, and then there's the Tokima caves with actual petroglyphs in the caves.
Oh.
They got it fenced.
I might go do something.
They got it fenced off with a metal gate, but you can still walk up to it and look in it. And everything like that.
And hot springs.
Yep, they're hot spring. Well, they're watering troughs.
Sure.
They're those 8-foot watering troughs.
Cowboy bass.
Yeah, cowboy bass. There you go.
Yeah.
And some of them have drains on them, so you can take like a little scrub pad and go there and scrub the algae out, drain them, fill them back up.
Cool.
So if you drain them early in the morning and put the pipe about a quarter way in, it's perfect temperature by the time it's full. Instead of scalding hot and having to wait for it to cool down.
So. But I think sticking around a couple of weeks, trying to use my wisdom of all the years I've been out here, and even though it might be a little hard on my thoughts because I want to go, I
Yeah.
just think it's wise to stick close by, make sure
Yes, it
things are
is.
running good, because
Yeah.
11.5 hour drive on an engine that's been sitting for a minute too, we don't know
Yep.
how long it's been sitting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So the first thing I want to do when it gets here is I'll pull all the spark plugs and put a few squirts of ATF in the upper cylinders.
right.
That way it'll break the piston rings free when you go to rotate it by hand.
Uh-huh.
I might even pull the valve cover and spray the valves and just take a rubber mallet and just tap the valves to make sure they're loose.
Oh, okay. Okay. Make sure everything's
Make sure we don't break valve springs,
Okay. So you might have said that. Okay. I'm checking questions here. Yeah, original plan. Lesa, please keep Mike as he's a visionary and trustworthy family man. Oh yeah, well, yep. We try to I try really hard to encourage people like this. So you guys encourage him too. And if you got to do it through me, or I actually made a comment on his location on Google Maps, and you can put comments out there that he can see. But he doesn't, he's kind of careful with online stuff like a lot of us who think like this. So Dad and Nephew popped by as he was telling us his business plan. Gotta watch it. Oh, okay, you'll watch in the replay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I deserve a hot spring vacation. Yeah, that sounds good. But so I hope you get a break. But maybe after, while I'm camping in the area, maybe we can encourage the family.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute. I mean, between trying to get my buddy set up on his paint booth business
Right.
and trying to get my stuff done, that memorial sign, because as soon as that memorial sign, that guy's supposed to bring me the extra F700 truck.
Yeah.
So I can graft the cab into the back of mine to make a crew cab tow truck for the business.
Right.
So
That memorial sign,
yeah.
that was that's what's it called, the way you cut that metal?
Oh, plasma
Cutting.
Yep. And that was freehand because I don't have any CNC machine. Everything I do is freehand. So basically, the 14-year-old daughter drew a drawing for her older sister that died, and they were pretty adamant that I made it exactly like the way the little girl drew it.
Right.
So what I did, because it was on a sheet of paper printed out,
Mm-hmm.
so what I did was I blew it up on the computer, basically printed it out in quarters.
Mm-hmm.
So I could lay it on a piece of cardboard and I could cut out, trace exactly the way she had it and tape it down.
Right.
And then I took a Sharpie and did kind of like a stencil transfer, like you would do in the tattoo world almost.
Right.
I did a stencil transfer to the sheet metal, and then I took my plasma and I had to freehand cut all around the design.
And it looks really good.
I don't know if you've seen my business sign or if your viewers seen the business sign. I did the same thing with that. So all the intricacy of the barbed wire and everything on that
was all hand done.
That was all hand done, and that's the hardest thing to do when you start doing the barbed wire.
Right.
Because one mess up, it melts through. Like there's no saving
because it's
it.
little.
It's little tiny like hairline cuts.
Right.
So.
Right. But they both look really good, and folks can see that sign in a couple of different places. It is on Google Maps now, but that's because I added it, not because it wasn't a business ad. It was just a.
And it then, was just Clover Go did a blog about me.
I think I shared that on
was it last year.
Yep.
They did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I shared that that link on YouTube in the what's it called? In the community tab, they can read that info about you. That was really good, and I thought, how come I don't know more people using that system? Right? Because it's basically offline but online.
Yeah. I got the mobile card reader because self-service. I mean, you might as well be using a paper cup and a piece of string out here half the time just to talk to each other. So I got that just so I can use debit and credit cards without a Wi-Fi connection. As soon as I come back to a Wi-Fi connection, they'll finish the transactions.
I think that's great. I think more small businesses especially need that. We have a question from TJ Shack. By the way, TJ Shack
Okay.
has I think technically it's a vintage Bronco camper that came straight from the factory as a camper. There's only
Oh wow.
a handful of them, and it's like a pop top one.
Okay.
They've been super good to me. They bought me the water port because they
Okay.
thought I needed to have a shower and stuff. So, well, okay, they didn't think I was stinky, but you know what I mean. So, um, and somebody wants me to show custom work, your custom metal work. So we'll walk around with
Okay.
that in a minute. Where's this one? What's the plan if the engine does not work out? Can parts of your old engine be used? Yeah, there's no new parts for my engines technically.
No, there ain't. So the parts we really need is the head needs to be good, the head casting and the block casting. If those are good, we could use all of her internals, all that stuff. All of her internals are still good. So it's just a matter if the head cast and block casting's good on this used motor. I'm hoping it is, just because the fact it was an automatic, it wasn't lifted, it was in a small town, 1,000 people or less. So
Right.
chances are it's a pavement pounder, not something that was off road, redlining constantly, and things like that. Because if they redline too much or they overheat with a stuck thermostat or water pump failure, that's where the cracks come in.
Right.
So
Right. So hopefully.
yeah, so hopefully we won't know till it's here, unfortunately, and that's the only one in the entire U.S. that's a 1.6
Right.
with the 16 valve.
So
you can find the 8 valve, you can't find the 16 valve
Right.
now.
So God forbid it's bad.
Yeah.
But if it is, we know we can get new heads still, but we know we can't get a new block.
Yeah. So if the block's good on the one that's coming, we can always find another head.
Okay.
So there's options. Worst case scenario, if all of it's junk, we can do an engine swap upgrade, but that's going to be a lot of work.
That's a pain in the butt.
At that point, it's better that you go home and just order things as you can afford to order it. And
Right.
then when it's done, I go, hey, Lesa, I can bring it to you, make a road trip, bring it to you. That way I can do the test drive and whatever tinkering I got to do.
Right.
That way it's broken in by the time you get it. Or, I pick you up Vegas or whatever, bring you back up.
Right.
So
But it's kind of,
there's options. We'll plan that scenario as we get to it.
right. But we're kind of at the stage of this either works
or it doesn't,
or I've got to either leave it here or get it home. But it's but that's where we're at.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the beast when you get into those hard to find engines, unfortunately.
And
so
and I do love my tracker, but
Yep.
I'm not I'm not tied to it, but at the same time it's been affordable up till now. And $1,900 for an engine. There's shipping involved. There's other stuff involved.
Yep.
Warranty costs, stuff like that involved.
Yep.
But
which they did give us a 1-year warranty, 1-year 12,000-mile warranty. So,
right.
but that ain't gonna do no good if they ain't got an engine to swap it for.
Right.
Unfortunately, I mean, they can warranty parts. Like they might have another head that's good.
Right.
So that'd be covered under the warranty if the head's bad.
Right.
They can send us a good head,
but that's all things that have to be considered. And in my life, one of the reasons I was telling you guys about little trucks, it's hard for me to say that. This on my tracker, I'll point here, guys. On my tracker, that sticker, those guys. It's another website that has forums. And he does all kinds of little trucks, not just trackers. And he's doing a giveaway right now. And so if I keep writing articles for him and I keep posting on his site, once his site reaches 4,000 members, he's giving away a 1998 daily driver tracker. And it's sitting in Texas. And so I want a shot at that tracker just in case. So
that'd be another option. Then you can keep this one for parts to go on the other one.
Right. So
don't hurt keeping a parts vehicle.
And he told me about this maybe 2 weeks ago. But I've been kind of back and forth with I don't know where my brain is. Not that I don't know where my brain is, but the thoughts have been okay, I hope it's okay. No, it's not okay. I don't know what to do. What am I got? How do I get my butt home? How do I get out of here? How do I give the family a break from me? You know,
Yeah.
how do I help? How do I be responsible? You know, so
Which worst case scenario, I do have a regular customer of mine. He's a nice guy. He's actually going to be going to Arizona here within the next month,
that's right.
and he offered to take Lesa down there. You
Yeah.
know,
So if I have
no
to,
money involved, nothing. Just
yeah,
give her a ride down there because he's going that direction. So
yeah. So, so yep, that's where we are at that. You guys got any more questions? Then I can walk with Mike because we've been almost an hour. We'll go show you his car real quick, and then maybe we'll go show you the little memorial sign, if that's okay. You think that's okay with those people?
yeah, I think he'll be okay.
Um, and I think I kind of answered you guys' big questions. So, I don't know. I'm not so sold on trackers that I have to have a tracker, but I like it, and I've had a lot of fun with this one. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's a better vehicle. I really don't. Vehicles are machines. They break
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and then they get old, and
So
then people like you restore them, and I can't afford that.
so just my personal preference.
Yep.
I won't buy anything past 1987. Just because 1987 they started going to computers,
Yep.
fuel injection, throttle body injection, all that stuff.
Yep.
So if you want fuel injection, the perfect fuel injection setup is a 1958 Volvo P1800. It was a mechanical vacuum operated injector.
Okay.
So if you had a weak cylinder, it would only suck what fuel it could burn. You never had high output emissions, so you don't have to worry about all the emission stuff
Mhm.
because it was a self-regulating system. Just like sucking through a drinking straw, it would only suck whatever it could
When it
handle.
could-
And
And it was a Volvo, huh?
yeah, it was a Volvo, 1958 Volvo
I'll have to
P1800.
look that up just because I want
So
to know what it looks like.
so if we took all of our modern vehicles,
Yeah.
went to Volvo's design, we wouldn't need catalytic converters. We wouldn't need all these computers. You wouldn't have the carbon footprint of making all the computers and the
Wow,
mining
yeah,
involved and all
right,
that other stuff.
right, right.
I mean, it's simple.
Yeah.
1942, Henry Ford made a hemp fibered body car, 4
Mhm.
times lighter, 10 times stronger in steel.
Yep.
Wouldn't dent, chip, or scratch. You could do that and run chrome moly chassis, make them super lightweight. You can run them off hydrogen. You can run pneumatic air compressor engines. Just convert a Wankel rotary engine to run off of compressed air.
Mhm.
I mean, there's lots of things you can do, but it's all about money.
It is.
It's all
Yeah.
about money.
And so because a lot of people on my site, there's quite a few older women and there's quite a few guys.
Mhm.
I get surprised, but I think
Yeah.
once I did the tracker thing, I started to get a lot of guys coming on and the overlander people. Um, so people who are lower income, what kind of vehicle? Kind of. I don't know
Yeah.
that you can suggest much, but what kind of vehicle would you suggest that people who are lower income and need something dependable, and maybe it's all they have, maybe it's their house too, what would you have them look at?
Now, are you talking about 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, car, truck? You know,
Well, there is all that factor,
it,
but I prefer that it can go anywhere. And so I want,
anywhere.
yeah,
I would say like an old CJ5 Jeep.
okay.
It-
I think
they're tough.
Candy's redoing one.
They're tough as nails.
Yeah.
They're hard to break.
Yeah.
Now the old square body Chevys are good too, as long as you're running a small block Chevy motor in it.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into the bigger, 383s,
Mhm.
454s, then your fuel mileage goes way down.
Right.
But you can make a 350 small block, put some headers, 70,000 volt ignition system.
Yeah.
You put that on there and some flow masters or
So would you,
some states, if you can run open header,
Yeah.
if you get a perfect setup on your carb, which that's the biggest reason for emissions. People don't know how to tune
How to
carbs.
do
They don't know how to
carbs.
adjust the flows.
Yeah.
They don't know how to size your power valves correctly.
Mm.
If you know how to do all that stuff, you could get 25 to 30 miles a gallon on a small block Chevy. This dually right here, this had a 454 in it. The original 1979. I spun a main bearing at 279,000 miles. But before that happened, with my open header cutouts, my 70,000 volt ignition system, I adjusted my carb, everything like that. I was getting 15 miles a gallon highway on this thing.
Okay.
And everybody said, "Oh, you can't get more than 10 with the 454." Proved you're wrong. It's just a matter of having a hot enough ignition, having the perfect amount of fuel, and letting the exhaust system breathe.
So a Chevy square body is what you said?
These.
It's this style.
Yep, this style.
Like from the 70s, late 70s?
70s all the way up to about 87.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So like if somebody was wanting to drive to Alaska or they wanted to live in it, they could put a cap on the back of a pickup that's one of these kind. It would be.
Yeah, like this one. Yeah. I got my toolbox.
Yeah.
Where I can carry about 2,000 pounds worth of tools.
Right.
I got a 92-gallon transfer tank. So I never stop for fuel. I just find the cheapest spot and I fill my transfer tank. I fill both my dual tanks, and as I suck my dual tanks down, I fuel myself right there on the side of the road.
Cool. But if you were picking somebody else up, because this truck, I think I showed them a little bit about this truck the other day.
And what I'm sitting on is a bumper crane.
Yeah, this thing's.
I can lift 2,000 pounds with this bumper.
Look at this thing, and it has jacks on the side like you'd have on a trailer, so that whatever you're picking up won't lift the whole thing off the ground or something, right?
Yep. Yeah. And this crane, I just pull a pin and this thing folds up.
Oh, okay.
I just got to make a diamond plate cover to protect it from the weather, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, okay. So a square body Chevy is something like this, but it's from the 70s and 80s. It looks something like this.
Yeah, and the reason why they call them square bodies the front end.
Because it's not round.
Right here, this is the square body.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. My dad had one of these.
Yep.
Not this big. This is a crew cab one. Yep. And did these come in step sides? No. Or was that the older ones had step sides? Okay.
So these ones did not have a step side.
So if something happens to my tracker and I can't make it run, I may have to look at a pickup truck, because that was one of the things I thought of if it got ugly for me.
Yeah, these C30s did not have a step side to them.
Okay. Your C30, that's right. I remember
your
that.
C10s and your C20s you could find in a step side.
Right.
But your C30s did not have one.
I had when I first started in 2011, after I hiked on the Appalachian Trail, when I first came back and started living in vehicles the second time. The first time was in 1978. The second time I had a G20 Chevy van, an 87, 97. Might have been a 97. But yeah. And it was a 350 engine, but I'm such a minimalist, I don't have that much stuff, that I was getting 18 miles to the gallon when I was towing a 13-foot Scamp.
And that's probably with all your emission systems and everything else on it.
Yeah, I don't even,
Now, if you got rid of those and went to high output ignition and
right. But something like these, is this a Toyota?
Yeah, that's a Toyota Hilux.
Yeah, but that's a whole different animal, that kind of a truck, right?
Yeah, that one's a complete custom. It's not done yet.
Yeah.
It's got the 5EZ FE swap in it. Eventually it's going to get a TRD supercharger, 7th fuel injector.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a 21 spline gear driven transfer case, run a 470-to-1 ratio. Running 579 Yukon chromoly differentials in it. So,
okay, he's talking mechanic speak, people.
Got a 94 T100 5-speed in it, which was the toughest one Toyota ever built.
Okay.
So basically, by the time I'm done, it'll have the equivalent of the granny gear in this truck.
Oh, okay. But now
I'll be able to pop in first, and it'll climb a hill grade at 3 miles per hour while it's idling.
Oh, okay. Are these Toyota trucks, when they were stock, are they any good?
Oh yeah, they're good, reliable trucks.
If I could find something like that, I like the size better.
Yeah.
Because I like the little vehicles.
Yeah. The only issue is once you start getting into the 22RE, which was the fuel injected.
Yeah.
They like to blow head gaskets a lot.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, and head gaskets are
Yeah.
no fun.
Now, if you got the old 22R, which is your carbureted,
Uh-huh.
which would be your 85 and older,
Mm-hmm.
those were also a straight axle up front, so they were more dependable, less parts to break.
Would they have been Nissans or Datsuns back then?
No, it was a Toyota.
Oh, they were Toyotas. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm getting them backwards.
yeah. So these are good, reliable trucks.
Cool.
This one's actually one of the straighter
Toyotas.
ones I've seen in a long time.
Okay, let's walk over and show him your shop car. And I'm gonna see if I can read while we're walking.
Yep.
I don't know that I can though, because the glare. I have trouble with the glare on the phone.
And then there's the custom Harley that's not done.
Yeah. How about his Harley? I saw him when he test drove this the other day. Well, he looks like old school Harley, guys. He put new you put new mirrors on it the other day.
Yeah, I had to custom fab those stems to fit those mirrors.
Yeah. His knuckles were bumping something and some spikes on the side, you know, don't bump into him. All right. So this is the
shop car.
Shop car. Yeah, well, I was what's the Mad Max car?
Yep.
Yeah.
So all this screen here is old mining screen from their old Swaco shaker screens. And then the little pins, the exact geolocation of where my shop is located.
Right. That's the shape of Nevada.
Yep. So eventually,
so it's mining.
The emblem's going to be a desert tan. Same thing with the screening up on the grill. That's all going to be desert tan. The whole car is going to get Armor Code black with metal flake in it. And then the geolocation pin will be painted red, just like the forestry maps that say "you are here" type thing.
Right.
And the whole thing that started it was because I couldn't find a timing cover for it no more.
Look, and he has these lights on the front.
Custom made those lug nuts on there too.
Lug nuts. Yep. Don't bump into him. Don't get close enough that he can puncture your tires or something. I don't know if that's possible. All right, guys. Now you can look in an engine. How's this for cool?
So the timing cover on these were originally plastic. I got a hold Dorman directly, and they destroyed the molds. And I called all over the U.S., a place in Pennsylvania that makes these into race engines. And he said he couldn't find them. So I made a 5-piece cover where I could pull just the front plate off, pull the 2 lower halves, pull the engine mount, and change my timing components like at a racetrack. And I left gaps in between here so I could see how my belt's tracking while the engine is running.
And the air filter and all is cool looking, but that's probably really good in the desert.
Yeah, that's cold air intake. That actually gives me about another, well, by itself, I'd gain about another 5 horse, but because I have a high performance header on it, MSD ignition, I probably add another 20 horse to this engine already.
Cool.
And I'm not done yet. I got to order, and the only place I can find them is Japan. They make what's called a twin lobe root supercharger. It's about the size of a Ford power steering pump. And I'll mount back here, and I'll have a supercharger. I'm gonna get rid of this intake. I have a intake from a 1100 RR Blackbird Honda race bike that I can put my injectors into that intake, and then run 4 individual K&N intakes through the throttle bodies and make an air filter box here coming off the forced cold air intake.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah, it'll be a monster by the time it's done.
And they do live in the desert, and yeah, there's mountains all around. I showed you guys that before because they're in a valley. It's called the Smoky Valley.
Smoky Valley, because between the wind blowing the dust and, you know, if California catches fire, we get the smoke.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And so he has his night driving lights on the front because it's kind of important. Oh, let me come around on that side. Sorry, guys, I'm walking you all around. Might make you dizzy. Look at his spikes. Well, that's the Mad Max thing.
So the body is an RS, and this is a GS hatch. So the RS had a 3-piece spoiler. That's where these holes used to be. and then it was a third piece here on the hatch.
Mm-hmm.
So because this GS hatch is on here, to fill these holes, I just welded spikes up in here and just kind of continued around. And then just like the front, I got my Nevada emblem and the geolocation pin right there.
I like that.
So,
I think that's pretty cool.
and then the exhaust is custom made. I custom made a U shape. I
Mm-hmm.
cut it perfectly in the center. So the exhaust comes out both tips, and it's got a glass pack cherry bomb on it. So it's loud.
Do you know we took one of those off of my tracker?
Did you?
It came, when I got it, it came with one. It was like silly. And backup camera and these lights, that light bar across there, those are cool. They kind of flash and do some things.
Yeah, when I put in reverse, it strobes and
Strobes.
gets your attention. And turn signals are sequential, so it starts in the middle and it blinks towards the outside, like I'm turning.
Okay. From this angle, I might be able to read the questions again. Go back up. Lesa. Oh, somebody's saying they think that you're the right person to trust. Okay, so I don't know that thing. Let me go back up to where there's something I know. You want to talk some more while I'm looking at questions? Oh, I read that. Somebody lost their dog. Sorry. Any vehicle you're in, according to Mike's suggestion, is the best. Okay. Been blessed with a few. Oh, fair. Okay, somebody's fur baby stuff. I'll go back and read that later. I'm sorry you guys lost your dog. That's sad. Oh, Jeremy, the mechanic that works at Stan's shop,
Okay.
is a buddy of mine, and he put the solar panels on, and he's done a lot of the work on my truck while he works for the shop. He said Toyota Hilux's a great truck.
Yeah, and they're getting hard to find too, just so you know.
Okay, I don't have any more questions on here. What do we want to show him, and then I'll let you go, and we can. Do we want to show him your the memorial sign or some of that hard work?
Yeah.
Or you could talk as we walk around.
So the Connex is over there is where what we're setting up for my buddy to start painting.
Oh, okay. So that's, you guys heard about Jeremy before. That's the associate building his shop here. That's those big orange containers over there. They delivered. I got some video of some of the delivery on those, so I'll get to show you guys more of that in a video.
And this yellow truck here is going to be the future tow truck.
Tow truck, right.
I just got to get another cab to graft, make it a crew cab, and then I got to extend the frame and put a tandem tag axle on it that I could adjust up and down with pneumatic or hydraulic, so when I go down a ditch, I won't get stuck.
Yeah.
Because the other option was to run a split drive, but I don't want to run a split drive. I'd have to get a whole new rear end to run a split drive, so I have drive to both axles. Don't want to do that.
And so Jeremy, the buddy that's building a paint shop and the auto body shop, is living in this fifth wheel. And this is going to be his shop over there. And that metal on the ground is going to be his paint booth. That's part of his paint booth floor. And this is one of the tractor projects you've got right now, the backhoe.
This is the backhoe that the guy was dropping off some tools so I could try to extract one of the broken bolts in a tight spot. I got 2 out yesterday. This third one I'm trying to get without having to pull all this hydraulic lines, because that's kind of a time-consuming ordeal to pull all those hydraulic lines just to get one bolt out.
And while you've been working on that, you've also been building the other part of the driveway that wasn't in before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start clearing for the future bigger shop and the wrap. And this is a customer's of mine. This
will be a pretty truck.
Yep.
Is it a full restore?
Yeah.
Or
full,
just
full frame restoration.
That'll be a fun.
And I made this sawhorse here to set the body on. I got to make one more. Is what I do today.
And then your project behind that on that pallet,
that's my 29 Chevy sedan rat rod, and that is an original Fisher body, which is super hard to find.
Yeah. For the mechanic geeks in the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to build all that steel square stock is going to be a roll cage, and then I'm going to have to order 2 rosewood kits and do some dido work on the rosewood to basically wrap around the square stock roll cage to make it look like an original wood frame. But I want the square stock just in case I ever get T-boned
To keep it safe.
or roll over, you
Right.
know. Now, if it was me and I didn't have kids, I wouldn't care. But, you know, I got to stick around for my kids.
Right. There you go. There you go.
So,
And so right now, this is the size of your shop, which is a little small.
and then all my personal collection of cars that
Mhm.
eventually I'm going to get to.
Mhm. Yep.
So, you know, we go in the shop and I'll show you the memorial sign.
Okay. All right. And then, guys, we're gonna cut it short after this. We'll let you all get going on your day after a little bit. So we're going in the shop. The lighting is going to change. And some of you have been in the shop before in some of the other videos. Do you want this door closed, Mike?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Usually he's got this is a motorcycle restoration too, right?
Yeah, that's going to be here a few months. It was his grandfather's, and he needs restoration done, and he wants me to take these off and see if I can reweave them the same way his grandfather had them.
Right. Right.
So but we're just waiting on the risers up here because someone stripped out one of the risers, so I got to change out the risers.
Okay.
Got to flush the tank because it's got a bunch of rust and the petcock plastic melted with the new ethanol fuel.
Oh yeah.
So it turned kind of gummy. It's stuck in there.
Oh god.
Yeah, so I gotta get that out of there. See?
Yep.
That's what ethanol fuel does. It turns into Laffy Taffy.
Ugh.
So all you guys that are having carburetor issues, it's your ethanol that's causing it.
Wow.
So, and then
Bye, Babs.
this is the cylinder heads I'm working on for that Santa Fe.
Whoops, say it again.
These are the cylinder heads I'm working on for that Santa Fe.
Mhm.
I got a.
That's your wife's car, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
She had a blown head gasket and
Just before me.
just before you, and she's got aluminum heads as well. So I got to get these through the hot tank, running a couple times with the valves in it first, so we don't end up with any gunk inside the valve guides. And then after it's preliminary clean, then I'll pull the valve train out and then run it again without the valves.
Right.
So.
And then you can check if it's cracked.
Then I can do the spray check like I did with yours, and hopefully her heads aren't cracked.
I hope not. I know she wants her car back.
Right.
Although she has a good run in what she has. I mean, she has a good vehicle, what she has. So this is the hand done memorial sign he's been working on to get. This is another shot project, but it is what it is. Let me get you close.
That's exactly the way the sister drew it.
Right. And all the detail. I mean, he did a good job.
And when I'm done, it's going to be all hand painted. It's going to get armor coated black.
Oh, okay. So it gets painted. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to get armor coated black because I already did an exact replica that's already at the grave site that I did a high polish and just a diamond clear coat on.
Okay.
So the other one's just super shiny. But this is going to get diamond black. And then back here, I'm going to do like the desert tan. And then everything else, I found out what her favorite colors were. So I'm going to hand trace, the colors of the elephant, the colors around her name, the colors around the stitch to make it look like the actual cartoon with the Hawaiian flower. And it's all going to get glow in the dark, light activated paint. So
cool.
During the day, it'll charge the paint up, and at night, it'll just glow.
No, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Good job. Good job. All right, guys. I think we're gonna. Oh, and you did get the swap cooler fixed.
Yeah.
And in Nevada, they work, so.
Yeah. They only work in places you don't have humidity.
Right.
So,
Mike, thanks for being with us today.
yep, you're welcome.
Thanks for answering lots of questions and showing stuff to people you don't even know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. We're going to keep on keeping it simple, folks.
Yep, and I got to get back to work. As
Yep.
you see, I got things to do.
Things to do. All right. We'll talk to you later, Mike.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yeah. Do what? Oh, ouch. Oh, ow. I think I have a bug in the back of my pants and it hurts. Okay. So I'm still walking here with you guys. I'm going to go. Oh. I think an ant or something got on the back of my pants. And I have, oh yeah, that hurts. I'm walking with y'all back to the car. Let's see. Okay, that hurts really bad. Oh yeah, something is biting me. All right, you guys want to stick around while I'm putting you on the ground. You're still with me, but something is biting my leg. And I bet you it's an ant. Because I could feel a bump. All right, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, I got it. Die. Okay. It was one of these fire ants. Got on the back of my calf while I was walking underneath my pants. I had to fix that. Well, y'all got to have that excitement of the day, too. All right, let's see what you had for ending comments now that I've said bye to Mike. And, I can't quite. Oh, yeah. Wow, that bit the back of my leg. Oh, good Lord. Probably making you all dizzy. Okay, now I can see the comments. And you can see my ceiling. All right, there we go. Bad ant, away with you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, that hurt. Okay. This was an awesome visit. I'm glad. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Any more questions that I missed? El Camino, yes, it was. 2 days. Dear, I arrived to. Oh, shelter. Okay. It was just an ant. I got it. I'm looking for cow horns for the Jeep. Can anybody help? Okay. All right. If anybody knows of cow horns, let's let George know, because I do know he wants them for the Liberty. He and Tammy, his wife, have gotten this idea that they're turning their Jeep Liberty into kind of a cowmobile. It's funny, but it's cute. And so, yeah, he wants some horns. All right, guys. I feel like this was good. I hope you all had an enjoyable visit with us today. I'm a little tired. And it's been good. And so now you get to meet the person that's helping me out, the mechanic. If you are around this area sometime in the future, they're good people to get to know. But don't wear them out too much. Use them appropriately. Use all businesses appropriately, right? And I'm awfully glad that we've been able to maneuver this challenging time together. And so I think you got a good view of what's happening. And now you know why I'm doing the little trucks forums and blogging over there, and whatever else I'm doing over on that site is because it enters me every time people join that website and forum groups with the link from me. As the numbers go up, each time somebody joins, I get another entry in that possibility of getting another 98 daily driver Chevy Tracker, which might be good for me to have. And I'm not a 2-vehicle person, but I do still have a home base in the property, and so maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a second one there. So help me win that tractor. I don't know. I'm putting it out. Who knows if that's the right thing? Yay! And I probably made y'all dizzy. Y'all have a wonderful day. It looks like we got real close to an hour and a half in this one. Like, subscribe, share, all those things that I forget to say. I will try to do some more videos this week. I'm beginning to feel better because I was able to keep Sabbath more normal for me, as well as the fact that it looks like this engine that we bought's really coming. I don't know how much more money I'm going to need. One of you asked, between homesonwheelsalliance.org and myself and the donations that I've already received from, in a general sense, y'all, I have enough money to pay for the install. I'm sure there will be more parts that need to be bought, but we don't know what those will be, and we don't know what we will run into. So at that point, I will let you know if I have more of a need and what's going on. But when I did all my math to pay the $1,900, which included $600 in shipping, okay, of the new engine, I did all the math to make sure, with the help that Howa said they're going to give me, which is, I don't know, $450 or $480, something like that, that Homes on Wheels Alliance is going to gift me as a partial grant or something, is the term they use. And $400 of my own money from this month's income and donations from you all. I had enough, and the return of the monies from the first engine. I had enough money for the $1,900 engine, which I couldn't believe. I don't know if God fixed those numbers for me or what, but so we paid for that, and for the $885, $87, whatever it is for the install charge. Have enough for that, and I had $200 left for groceries. And I forgot, and one more thing, and Greg from Oregon sent me $40 specifically for gas for when I'm done, when I'm ready to move. So I've saved those things aside in that manner, because some people sent me, please use this for groceries. Somebody got on Amazon and bought me a gift card for Amazon. I'd never done that before, the way that they did it. I didn't know. You'll know my email address. You know my name. If you want to do that for me, that was really helpful, because I buy the powdered raw goat's milk. It's imported from New Zealand, and I'm not allergic to it. So I'm buying that. Sometimes I buy, as far as food and groceries go, sometimes I'm able to buy carne seca, and I buy one that comes out of Texas when I am able to get it. It's dehydrated, shredded, pre-cooked, and I'm able to crush it, grind it, beat it put it in a Ziploc bag, wrap it in a towel, beat it with a rock, and then make pemmican out of it with tallow. And I can make tallow with beef fat steak trimmings I can get from most meat markets. And often it's like a Bashas' or a Safeway's I can buy for a couple of dollars. And so I can make that. Yeah, sometimes I can buy a jar of tallow. I think this jar's about empty. So if I can find it, I'm reaching for it. This jar, I think I bought at a Walmart, and it's almost empty. So I'm using this for my lotion for my skin, because it's almost empty. But I'll make my own tallows for a couple of dollars and save the money. let's see, what else do I buy? Right now, I'm buying instant decaf coffee sticks. Instant coffee sticks like Folgers or something when I can find them cheap, or Bustelo when I can find them. But they're instant coffee and they're in a stick, so they're easy to maneuver. And I don't have to worry about measuring. And I have stuff to make a good cup of coffee, but it's like it's too much work when you're not feeling well and things are weird. And on Sabbath, that way I just open a little packet, put it in a jar. I make a iced coffee with my milk powder, and I am eating honey. I do not need to buy Manuka honey anymore, which is really expensive. I'm able to eat raw honey now, and I'm able to eat raw unfiltered, and I'm starting to eat fruit. In fact, I had grapes. I've tried grapes. I've tried pineapple. I've tried bananas. I tried watermelon and something else, and I'm not having a problem with it. And I'm not having inappropriate bathroom habits. So, yay. Carnivore is healing me. I was able to eat a couple of eggs. I haven't eaten eggs in about a week. I just don't want any right now, but I will eat egg. What else? Because some of you want to know about health stuff sometimes. I can't remember what else right now. I did just order green plantain flour. 100% green plantain flour. It's only dehydrated and crushed. And so I'm planning to make tortillas with that. We'll see how that goes. I mean, I've made that before. I used to make my own flour, so when I lived in Central America. If I can find those pictures, I will try to get a post out on YouTube somewhere so that you guys can start to see some of those things, because I did have old videos. I probably don't have the videos. I know Google archives everything, and then I'm not sure if I can get it back, but I have pictures of all of the Costa Rica days, and I need to start telling those stories as I'm reintroducing things. So, all right, I think I'm going to let y'all go. Jeremy, thank you for being out here with us too. I appreciate you. I probably ought to make a phone call and talk to some of you people more, but we got through one more Sunday, one more week, one more day, and keep praying for each other. Help when you can. Don't overdo it, but and we'll talk soon. Have a great week. Ciao. Keep keeping on. Keeping it simple.